like I said, I think if you treat people with kindness, it should be reciprocated. And oftentimes we don't see that. I mean, heck, I've been taking it on the chin from fans, since I joined the cast. So it's just nice to finally see that people are seeing things from my POV. Because there's always your truth, their truth, and then the real truth. I'm just happy that people are even opening up their eyes to actually see and try to understand it. Because hell, I was like, I'm like, what is happening? Why is it happening? And why me?
That when you've created your own brand and you are the face of the show, it's yours. A lot of people can look at it as share the spotlight. This is your best friend. Why don't give her a little shine? But then you have to also take into account that, does this friend know how this go? And am I going to have to train you? And are you going to be
because
in my
it looks like
shadow?
Sherry's feud with Porsha has finally reached its breaking point, and now there are claims that Bravo has decided to show Sherry the door. And trust me, Sherry isn't staying quiet about it. She's reportedly been suggesting that Porsha was the one behind everything that went down. In just 2 seasons, Sherry went from being seen as a wealthy, confident housewife to being labeled resentful and overly obsessed, and much of that shift appears connected to the way her friendship with Porsha completely fell apart. The two women started exposing years of personal drama and airing out decades of dirty laundry that probably should have stayed behind closed doors. And let's just say, getting on Porsha's bad side may have put Sherry in an uncomfortable position with Bravo. Girl, this whole situation is messier than anyone could have predicted. And honestly, who would have imagined that Sherry and Porsha's relationship would end up falling apart this badly? Let's get into it. Okay, so season 17 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta recently wrapped up, and rumors quickly started circulating that producers had already begun sending out contracts for season 18. According to those reports, Sherry was supposedly the only cast member who didn't receive a pickup letter, which immediately had fans wondering whether her time on the show was officially over. However, Andy Cohen eventually shut those rumors down. He made it clear that if fans wanted to know what season 18 might look like, they only needed to look at the current cast. According to Andy, producers were happy with the entire lineup, meaning nobody was expected to be cut from the show. So, for now, it looks like Sherry's future with Bravo may not be as simple or as certain as the rumors made it seem.
Read all these. There are a lot of casting rumors online which came out over the weekend, and I'm going to tell you that they're not true. And I am going to tell you that if you want a preview of next season of Atlanta, look at this cast. This is the group, guys. I mean, we love this group. So, spoiler alert, we're very happy.
Andy Cohen may have said that simply to keep the drama under wraps until the season ends.
Very happy.
Because it has now reportedly been confirmed that Bravo really did shut the door on Sherry Whitfield Morton. According to a high-level production insider, producers sent contracts to all the women, but when it came to Sherry, they allegedly gave her a terrible deal. They reportedly offered her an extremely low salary, cutting her pay to less than half of what she earned last season. In reality TV, this is often viewed as a classic way to get rid of someone without officially firing them. The executives know the cast member is likely to reject such an insulting offer and walk away on their own, allowing the network to avoid the public backlash that could come with a direct firing. So, technically, Andy Cohen's statement may have been true, but he conveniently left out the bigger picture. Honestly, it's a little confusing why producers wouldn't want Sherry back, especially because she's brought plenty of drama to the show. Sherry has been connected to the franchise for years, and fans first got to know her as Porsha's friend. But ever since she secured her own peach, many viewers would agree that she's been digging an enormous hole for herself. She and Drew clearly don't get along. Angela doesn't seem to have much respect for Sherry, and her relationship with Phaedra has never exactly been smooth. PYNK wasn't interested in getting involved in her drama, while Cynthia definitely wasn't about to defend Sherry or go to bat for her. At this point, the only person she genuinely seems to get along with is Kelly, and even that friendship feels shaky enough to change at any moment. It's been wild watching Sherry clash with nearly everyone on the cast, especially seeing her relationship with Porsha go from friendly and cordial to complete hostility. What started as a friendship eventually turned into one of the biggest conflicts on the show, with both women airing out personal issues that probably should have stayed private. At the same time, there's another factor that could have played a role in Sherry's future on the show: her husband, Gerald. We know that Gerald doesn't seem interested in being part of reality television. Sherry has explained that being a housewife means opening up nearly every area of your personal life, but Gerald wants absolutely no part of that world. He doesn't want to be filmed, and he reportedly doesn't want cameras inside their home either. Because of that, Sherry has to respect his boundaries and keep certain parts of her marriage away from the cameras. And whenever his scenes do appear, fans often notice how uninterested he looks, almost as if he'd rather be anywhere else doing a million different things. That led some viewers to believe that after 2 seasons, Gerald may have encouraged Sherry to walk away from the show altogether. And if that's what happened, producers may have simply handed her the perfect opportunity to exit without making it look like a traditional firing.
You meet all of the qualifications in order to be official with the peach. Is it that you don't want the peach, or has the peach never been offered to you?
No, the peach has been offered several seasons.
Okay.
And I hate to sound like that because it sounds so like, oh, you think I had a peach or I was offered a peach. But no, really, it really truly was. Candy can vouch, so can Porsha. The problem is, when you are a peach holder, you have to show all of your life. And that includes my husband.
Yes.
And whereas he supports me being a part of Real Housewives of Atlanta, he doesn't want to be a part of it. So I have to respect that. You know, I mean, my family and my home life is my priority. And I guess for as long as he won't be a part of the show, I won't hold the peach.
Okay.
And that's just kind of the way it is. So I'm fortunate enough to be able to hang out and play with the girls as a friend, and I'm okay in my friend role. So when I see comments like, oh, she wants a peach so bad, I'm like, you know, I would love to be able to showcase all aspects of my life, but I'm okay with not having a peach. I'm financially stable. I'm happy in my marriage. I'm happy in my home, and I'm happy with my role.
But Sherry isn't about to leave the Real
I still get to
Housewives of
keep with my
Atlanta
girl,
while
and it's all
allowing
good.
false narratives to continue being pushed about her. Both Sherry and Gerald have spoken out to make it clear that he wasn't the reason she wasn't on the show in the past, and he wouldn't be the reason she wasn't there in the future. He supports her career and says he'll continue supporting whatever decision she makes. So, according to them, the idea that Gerald is the reason Sherry would leave the show is completely out of the question. And let's be real, we've seen housewives come onto the show with behavior far more outrageous than anything Sherry has done, yet producers still kept them around because the drama brought viewers in. So, Sherry's behavior may not be the real reason producers allegedly don't want her back. Instead, it could have everything to do with her decision to go head-to-head with Porsha, an OG and, by far, one of the most popular fan favorites in the franchise. When Sherry finally became a full-time housewife, she wasn't interested in simply playing the role of the wealthy, pampered woman who had everything handed to her. She wanted to address the unresolved issues between herself and Porsha once and for all. Remember, we originally got to know Sherry as a friend of Porsha, but when she joined the cast in season 16, it quickly became obvious that their decade-long friendship had been badly fractured. Both women clearly had unresolved issues, but neither one had really been willing to speak openly about everything that happened between them. So, Sherry entered the new season ready to confront the situation head-on and expose the dirty laundry that had been building up for years. And once those old issues started coming to light, things became extremely ugly, extremely fast. From Sherry's perspective, Porsha allegedly never wanted her to join the show in the first place. She claimed that Porsha had told her she should find something else to do because joining the cast could ultimately destroy their friendship. That claim was reportedly backed up by Kenya and Candy, adding even more fuel to an already explosive situation. But Porsha completely denied those accusations. She insisted that she had actually campaigned for Shamea to join the show multiple times and claimed she had supported the idea rather than trying to block her from getting a peach. And that right there is where the entire friendship started turning into one massive he said, she said situation.
That I know about their friendship, I'll just tell you. I never felt that Porsha was supportive of her being on Housewives. They had asked Shamea to be on Housewives as a housewife years ago. And Shamea refused to do it or could not do it. I'm not really clear about the details, but in any event, she couldn't do it. She didn't do it. She did not accept the offer to be a housewife or to interview to be a housewife. And I remember a specific conversation being filmed where Shamea brought up something, maybe it was her wedding, maybe it was Porsha not being supportive of her. But I remember Porsha saying something to the effect of, why are you doing this? Why are you over here? Why are you doing this? Do you need the money that bad? And I think Shamea was like shocked, like, what, where is she going with this? And the gist of the conversation was, can't you just let me have this and you go over and do what you need to do? But this is my platform.
But that wasn't the only issue Shamea had with Porsha.
My support system.
She also called Porsha out for allegedly keeping their daughters from spending time together, which only added more tension between the two women. But Shamea didn't stop there. She went even further by accusing Porsha's mother, Diane Williams, of allegedly trying to sleep with her father. That accusation took the feud to an entirely different level and brought their families directly into the drama.
It's not a secret. Yeah, but everybody doesn't know that your mom tried to sleep with my dad.
Shamea came to dinner with one in the chamber. This just wasn't the one to unload.
Oh, man. She's about to explode. Porsha don't play about her mama.
Oh, my God. Where is my drink at?
By the time Sherry was finished, she seemed to be looking to the other women for reassurance. She appeared to expect that after exposing all those negative things about Porsha and her mother, the other ladies would switch sides and rally behind her. But trust me, nobody wanted to play with fire. Porsha made her position very clear. The two of them were never going to be friends again. And the other women made it obvious that they were firmly on Porsha's side. This was the first time Sherry really got a glimpse of what it meant to go directly against Porsha like that. She's an OG, and whether you love her or hate her, Porsha has mastered the art of giving viewers exactly what they want while navigating relationships on the show. Somehow, she's managed to avoid being completely at odds with everyone at once. So, the women knew better than to openly side with Sherry against Porsha. Even though the ladies weren't backing her, Sherry was still counting on winning over the audience. She expected viewers to understand her perspective as the supposedly betrayed friend and criticized Porsha for neglecting her. However, that plan didn't exactly work out. Instead, fans started calling Sherry obsessive and hateful, questioning how she could have supposedly been carrying years of resentment while still claiming that she and Porsha were best friends. The backlash was definitely not what Sherry expected, and it gave Porsha even more ammunition. According to the claims surrounding the situation, Porsha then reportedly went to producers and pushed for Sherry to be removed from the show. Now, Porsha has never played when it comes to her daughter or her mother, so she wasn't about to simply forgive Sherry and move on without getting her own form of payback. Porsha also knows exactly how badly Sherry wants fame, and the ultimate revenge would have been making sure she couldn't continue getting that spotlight on the show. Word is that Porsha allegedly made it clear to producers that she had no interest in working alongside someone who constantly antagonized her. So, according to the rumors, producers were essentially faced with a choice: keep Porsha or keep Sherry. And having both women on the same cast may no longer have been an option. Porsha has been a major presence on The Real Housewives of Atlanta for more than a decade, while Sherry's return was comparatively recent. Producers weren't likely to choose a newer cast member over an established, bankable star who they already knew could bring ratings and headlines. From that perspective, Sherry becoming the one to leave would have been the obvious choice. But Sherry has reportedly been speaking out, arguing that Porsha shouldn't have the power to push her off the show simply because she couldn't handle the heat. At this point, though, Sherry may need to read the room. Fans aren't exactly begging to watch another season where the two women sit in the same rooms while everyone knows they can't stand each other. Their feud creates a major divide within the group, and Andy Cohen has previously discussed how much producers dislike cast divisions, especially after seeing how those conflicts affected the New Jersey franchise. And instead of continuing to chase fame through the show, some fans are telling Sherry to simply enjoy the wealth, family, and friendships she already has. One viewer argued, "I do think Sherry should go or be downgraded to friend of the show. She's a huge cause of the divide." Another fan pointed out that another year of Porsha and Sherry refusing to resolve their conflict could encourage the rest of the cast to behave the same way. Someone else even said they wouldn't be invested in the next season if they had to watch Porsha and Sherry share scenes together, arguing that it feels unnatural for two people who clearly dislike each other to remain in the same friend group. And then there are all the other complaints fans have been bringing up. Not getting first chair at the reunion, refusing to take accountability, the alleged altercation with Porsha in Scotland, and reportedly sending cease and desist letters to cast members. One fan summed it up by saying, "Oh, Sherry about to get fired." So, what do you guys think? Is Sherry's run as a housewife officially over, or do you still want to see her back for another season? Sound off in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. See you later, baddies.